Today we are going to discuss on the third module, Anthropology, its relationship with life sciences, art sciences, medical sciences and environmental sciences. First we have the introduction. Today anthropology has become a broad-based study and scientific discipline. It has come to deal with a wide variety of problems because it involves a wide range of approaches used in different fields of humanities like life sciences, art sciences, medical sciences and environmental sciences. Next we have anthropology and life sciences. Anthropology is closely related to several of the natural sciences. Zoology in terms of our relationship with other animals and the place of the human species in the process of evolution. Biology in terms of the evolution of humans from early pre-human forms, anatomy and physiology in terms of its concern with the structure of the human body, the relationship of the various parts and operation or function of these different parts. Genetics concerned with variation in the world today. Physical anthropology studies the physical characteristics of man. Using the general principles of biology, it utilizes the findings of anatomy, physiology, embryology, zoology, paleontology, etc. Paul Broca, 1871, the famous biologist, defined physical anthropology as the quotation, science whose objective is the study of humanity considered as a whole in its parts and in relationship to the rest of nature, unquote. Although it is related to the biological sciences like anatomy, physiology, etc., it does not restrict itself to the study of contemporary average man. Rather, it is interested in a comparative study of man, considering its past, present, and even future. Actually, physical anthropology is more elaborate and detailed than biology. For instance, when a zoologist tries to understand the biology of an animal, he either goes into the details of the length and the breadth of the skull. Physical anthropology examines the skull in all its details. Thus, anthropology has a sort of specialization or sharpening of the focus on some aspects of general biology. Still, another speciality of anthropology is that it is concerned only with limited and restricted study of the human species. It never moves beyond this. Anthropology studies the human species as a biological entity. Some anthropologists are concerned primarily with the forms of pre-human and early human species, an area of study known as fossil man. Others concentrate on the similarities and differences between the various primate species, which include not only human but apes and monkeys as well. This area of study is called primatology. A third area, known as the study of human variation or anthropological genetics, deals with contemporary as well as historical variations among populations of humans. It is concerned with questions like the adaptation of a group of people to a specific climate, the natural immunity of some peoples to certain diseases, and the all-important questions of racial differences. Next, we have anthropology and art sciences. Anthropology and art sciences have intimate relationship. The art sciences include geology and human geography. Archaeology is closely linked to geology in analyzing the archaeological sites and in dating the past and finding out the chronological sequences. Anthropology, cutting across the barriers of time and space, naturally takes interest of man's past, especially prehistoric past. Thus, archaeologists may be seen serving as the historians among anthropologists involved in the cultural reconstruction of man's past. Unlike a socio-cultural anthropologist, an archaeological anthropologist cannot observe human behavior and culture directly, but can reconstruct them from material remains like pottery, tools, cave, rock paintings, ruins of shelter, ornaments, and many other material remains that survive the wear and tear of time and climatic conditions. To recreate man's past without any written record is not an easy task. To discover, analyze, and interpret their findings, archaeological anthropologists have to take the help of geologists, human geography, and a host of other disciplines. Despite of all these interdisciplinary activities, the archaeological anthropologists will never be able to know the speech or language of the prehistoric man. Still, reconstructing the past shall remain an anthropological preoccupation. Geology, the science of Earth's crust, provides the law of stratigraphy, which is the foundation of our knowledge of chronological order of facts, with the position and nature of each stratum containing prehistoric remains, furnishing information regarding the relative antiquity of the finds. The archaeological strata formed by the effects of geological processes and mechanisms can help us in reconstructing the environment in the past. Again, pedology, the science of soils, is another potential field with which prehistory is related. The analysis of the soil is not only used in dating but also used in understanding the manner of the formation of deposits as well as about the environment at the time of their formation. Next, we have anthropology and medical sciences. The development of medical anthropology has occurred since Second World War. The beginning of major anthropological involvement in medical problems was cogently reviewed by Caudill, 1953, Applied Anthropology. The book Anthropology Today, edited by A.L. Grover, Chicago, University of Chicago Press, page 7712-806, is the landmark paper on applied anthropology in medicine. At that time, involvement of anthropologists and other social scientists in health program and medical research has changed considerably, and there has been an increase in the input of social scientists in medicines, health, and human behaviors. In recent times, there has been a spurt in ethnomedical studies particularly among rural and tribal communities. For example, Chowdhury 1986-1990. Medical anthropology, in fact, is one of the main areas where a holistic biocultural approach is called for. In the proper study of mankind, anthropology aims to discover man as a human being. Culture is defined as a set of belief and behavior shared by a group of people. It also provides people the way of perceiving the world at large and the way of facing the problems prevailing in the environment. Obviously, people with different cultural orientations and experiences have different notions with regard to the concepts of disease, cure, treatment, and have different expectations from the physician. If this communication is impeded, the purpose of the physician is defeated. There are 7 main types of disease concepts. They are 1. Sorcery or magic. 2. Breach of taboo. 3. Disease object intrusion. 4. Spirit intrusion. There are again 3 curative measures of spirit intrusion. They are exorcism, mechanical extraction, transference, soul or body organ loss, dreaming, independent occurrence. The knowledge about the various concepts of disease and healing in various communities is very essential for a medical practitioner. With regard to the direct relationship between anthropology and health, it may be noted that cultural anthropology has exercised a notable influence upon the fields of psychiatry, psychosomatics, and pediatrics. Malinowski, 1984, developed the theory of culture in terms of operating basics and derived needs of the organism. The structure of the ego is largely determined by the manner in which these basic needs have been satisfied. The function of the ego is to secure the adequate satisfaction of basics and secondary derived needs to maintain the organism equilibrium. Similarly, anthropologists have been known since long, and their feelings and somatic functions are closely related. Accordingly, they have been advocating for psychosomatic medicine that had been recognized as a branch of medicine recently. Thus, anthropology can assist clearly and satisfactorily in identifying the needs of health and in clarifying factors influencing acceptability and utilization of health services. Next, we have anthropology and environmental sciences. Scientists of different disciplines have increasingly become interested in the study of different aspects of environment. Anthropologists are no exception to this. As a matter of fact, anthropologists always attach great importance to environment because man is regarded as a product of interaction between heredity and environment. Man is grown and developed in conformity with both physical and social environment. If he cannot meet the challenges to adapt to his environment physically, man will die and become extinct. Since prehistoric times, many creatures have been found to have become extinct, being unable to bear the rigors of environment. But being equipped with cultural means coping with nature, human being is able to adjust to great varieties of environment, including polar region. Depending upon the biological qualities, some creatures cannot adapt in the adverse environment without having any cultural equipment. Man, on the other hand, could alter the environmental conditions by means of his culture and make it favorable to serve his needs. But, however, man has to depend partly on physical environment and natural resources, as he cannot make him absolutely free from the influences of environment. That is why different cultures have taken shape in accordance with different environment. Thus, environment and culture have close relation. Friedrich Ratzel, a German anthropogeographer, said that, quote, natural setting plays a great role in shaping the ways of life of the people, unquote. But his followers emphasized that environment determines man's way of life and sponsored the theory of geographical determinism. According to the environmentalists, man is subservient to environment and culture is the contribution of environment, which determines the ways of man's living. Natural resources, climate, geographical situation not only control the material cultural activities, but also determines the development of industry, commerce, religion, social systems. And civilizations. The students of cultural anthropology maintain the way in which a human group adapts to a particular environment, which is not determined by its geographical features alone, but also influenced by various other forces, technological, biological, psychological. The present-day population leads a different way of life with modern amenities, including electricity, air conditioning, automobiles, television. Now let us draw the conclusion. Anthropology is able to relate all of these disciplines to its quest for an understanding of human behavior and draws upon all of them to interpret the ways in which all biological and social factors enter to depict man's culture and behavior in totality. The future of anthropology is characterized by a close relation with the humanities. Thus, usefulness of anthropology is proof everywhere.